Hello, I'm Sebastian. Welcome to 9 Trees podcast. Today, I will summarize and review the book, Astrophysics for People in a Hurry by Neil deGrasse Tyson is a compact, highly readable tour of modern cosmic thinking, written for curious readers who want the big picture without wading through heavy math. Drawing on widely known concepts from astronomy and physics, Tyson sketches how scientists have learned what the universe is made of, how it evolved, and where humans fit within it. The book moves briskly from the origins of space and time to the formation of stars and galaxies, then outward to the puzzling discoveries that dominate current research, such as dark matter and dark energy. Along the way, it also highlights how scientific tools, skepticism, and evidence-based reasoning turn faint signals into reliable knowledge. The tone is conversational and often playful, but the purpose is serious, to give non-specialists a framework for understanding the cosmos and for appreciating why scientific literacy matters in everyday life. It is an accessible gateway into astrophysics and cosmology. I will give you key takeaways from this book. Firstly, a rapid map of the universe and our place in it. A central thread of the book is orientation, how to think about scale, distance, and the sheer variety of objects that fill the cosmos. Tyson emphasizes that astronomy begins with perspective, because nearly every intuitive human reference point breaks down once you move beyond Earth. The discussion commonly centers on how planets, stars, nebulae, and galaxies relate to one another, and why light, traveling at a finite speed, serves as both a messenger and a time machine. When you see farther, you also see earlier, which means the sky is a layered record of cosmic history. This perspective reframes familiar questions. The night sky is not a static dome, but an evolving archive of physical processes. Tyson's approach helps readers build a mental model that connects everyday experiences, such as gravity, motion, and energy to phenomena like planetary orbits, stellar life cycles, and galactic structure. The payoff is a sense of context. Humans occupy a tiny region in space and time, yet we can infer astonishingly detailed stories about objects we cannot touch. That combination of humility and capability becomes a recurring theme. Secondly, origins. From the Big Bang to cosmic structure, the book highlights the broad outline of cosmology. The universe has a history, and that history can be reconstructed from evidence. Tyson surveys the widely accepted narrative in which the early universe expanded from a hot, dense state, cooled, and allowed matter to assemble into increasingly complex structures. Key ideas typically include the expansion of space, the role of primordial conditions in shaping what came later, and the observational clues that anchor the model, such as background radiation and the distribution of galaxies. The emphasis is less on technical derivations and more on the logic of inference, what measurements exist, what they imply, and why multiple lines of evidence converge on the same overarching story. Readers encounter the concept that structure did not appear instantly. It emerged from subtle early variations that gravity amplified over time, ultimately producing stars, galaxies, and clusters. Tyson also stresses that cosmic origins are not merely philosophical. They set constraints on what the universe can contain, how fast it can evolve, and why certain elements and environments exist at all. Understanding origins becomes a way to understand why the universe looks the way it does now. Thirdly, starlight, chemistry, and how we know what we cannot touch. A major practical lesson in the book is how astrophysicists turn light into knowledge. Because most of the universe is unreachable, astronomy relies on decoding electromagnetic signals, especially spectra, to learn what distant objects are made of and what they are doing. Tyson commonly explains that starlight contains fingerprints of chemical elements, allowing scientists to determine composition, temperature, motion, and even magnetic conditions without direct sampling. This theme naturally connects to the origin of the elements. The universe began with mostly simple ingredients, and the heavier elements essential for planets and life were forged in stars and dispersed through events like stellar winds and supernova explosions. That story links cosmic evolution to personal identity in a concrete way. The atoms in human bodies are tied to ancient astrophysical processes. The book also underscores the method behind the romance. Observations are checked, instruments are calibrated, and conclusions are constrained by physics. In that sense, the cosmos becomes a laboratory governed by universal laws, and light becomes the data stream that lets people test ideas at extreme scales. The result is an appreciation for both the poetry and the rigor of astronomical discovery. Fourthly, invisible dominance, dark matter, and dark energy. Tyson devotes attention to the biggest modern surprises in cosmology. Most of the universe is not made of the ordinary matter that forms stars, planets, and people. The book explains why scientists posit dark matter and dark energy, focusing on the observational puzzles they resolve rather than presenting them as mere speculation. Dark matter enters the story through gravitational effects that visible matter alone cannot explain, such as galaxy rotation patterns and the behavior of clusters. Dark energy appears when the expansion of the universe is measured and found to be accelerating, implying an additional component with a repulsive or expansive influence on cosmic scales. Tyson's goal is to help readers accept a challenging idea. Scientific models are not built from what feels familiar, but from what best matches the data. He also clarifies what remains unknown. Dark matter and dark energy are labels for measured effects and inferred components, not final explanations. By presenting these topics in plain language, the book turns bewildering headlines into a coherent picture of current research priorities. It also conveys an important philosophical point. The more we learn, the more we realize how much remains unexplained, and that open frontier is a feature of science, not a flaw. Lastly, scientific thinking, cosmic humility, and life on Earth. Beyond facts, the book argues for a way of thinking. Tyson links astrophysics to scientific literacy, suggesting that understanding how knowledge is built is as valuable as any single cosmic detail. Readers see how evidence, skepticism, and predictive frameworks allow scientists to distinguish plausible ideas from comforting stories. This mindset is paired with cosmic humility. Recognizing Earth as a small world in a vast universe can deflate human-centered assumptions and encourage a broader sense of responsibility. The book also touches on the conditions that make life possible, framing them as outcomes of physical law rather than destiny. Even when discussing the possibility of life elsewhere, the emphasis tends to be on what chemistry and planetary environments require, and on how difficult it is to detect reliable signals across interstellar distances. Tyson's excitable style makes the philosophical implications feel practical. A person who understands scale, probability, and the difference between evidence and assertion is better equipped to navigate modern life, from evaluating claims to appreciating long-term risks and opportunities. In this way, astrophysics becomes a lens for clearer thinking, a deeper sense of wonder, and a grounded appreciation of the fragile circumstances that allow civilization to exist. In conclusion, this book suits readers who are curious about the universe but feel intimidated by equations, dense textbooks, or overly technical jargon. It is also a strong fit for busy professionals, students exploring science outside their major, and anyone who enjoys big ideas delivered with clarity and momentum. The benefit is twofold. First, it offers a reliable mental framework for understanding what astronomers mean when they discuss the Big Bang, cosmic expansion, starlight, and the universe's hidden components. Second, it models scientific reasoning in a way that can improve everyday decision-making, helping readers separate evidence-based conclusions from speculation and rhetoric. Compared with many popular science titles, its advantage is efficiency. It compresses essential concepts into short, digestible chapters while still preserving the grandeur of the subject. Tyson's distinctive voice also keeps the material lively, using humor and perspective to make difficult topics feel approachable without pretending they are simplistic. If you want a concise, modern overview of astrophysics that leaves you better informed and more intellectually grounded, this book is worth buying because it delivers maximum conceptual return for minimal time investment. If you would like to support Neil deGrasse Tyson, you can buy the book through the Amazon link I've provided in the podcast description. After reading the book, please let me know what you think and share your thoughts. See you around.